Hey, my book lovelies! Welcome back to my channel! Today I'm going to go through my 10 before the end. I cannot believe it's nearly the 1st of December, and I always do my 10 before the end challenge just in December. So let me tell you what is part of it. I should just make a little side note that I still don't know the order I'm going to read these in. Because I'm such a mood reader, I feel like I'm going to go the way I feel, and obviously I'm going to vlogmas it, so you'll see every day what I'm reading and how much I dip in and out of certain books as well. I'm going to try and commit to once I start the book, I stick to the book. We'll see if I manage it. So I've already read Bride. I read this in October and loved it. So my first on my 10 before the end is Mate by Ali Hazelwood. This is Serena's story and Cohen's story. I am so excited for this. When I read Bride, there was yearning, there was spice, there was a whole lot of fun. So this one is a human werewolf hybrid. So Serena thought she was human, found out she was werewolf. She's kind of this in-between hybrid. And then Cohen is the Northwest Pack leader, and he commands obedience. I feel like there's going to be a bit of a Dom sub kink kind of vibe in this, and I'm really excited for it. I don't normally love Ali Hazelwood's STEM romances. It's just something I'm not much of a fan of, but when I picked up Bride, I was like, I'm obsessed. So I'm hoping I get the same feeling from Mate. I really hope I do. I've seen people review it and say they loved it. I haven't seen if anybody said they loved it more than Bride. That's my only worry. But werewolves, romantasy, some spice, can't go wrong with that in your 10 before the end. Then my second 10 before the end is A Curse of Shadows and Ice by Katharina Mora. I've read the Windsor series from Katharina Mora and been obsessed with the way she writes romance, billionaire romance, and spice. So I'm hoping that a standalone romantasy from her is going to be good. It's not too thick, so I feel like in terms of setting myself a challenge, this one's all right. It is, let me have a look, just shy of 300 pages. So this is where you meet Princess Arabella, and she's left no choice when the Shadow Emperor threatens to overthrow her country unless she agrees to marry him. So you've kind of got that forced marriage element. I love that Julie Soto has left a review. I was like, a comment? Comment's not right, a review on the front, because I loved Rose in Chains. So if Julie Soto's writing on this, I have a feeling it's going to be good. I think I'll get through this in a day. If it's 300 pages and it's romantasy and this forced marriage, I cannot see this taking me long to read. So I think that'll be a good one. Then I have Beautiful Graves by L.J. Shen. This is a trauma romance, I'm hoping. So this girl has lost the love of her life, and she runs off to Salem and she meets this guy and she has a bit of a whirlwind romance with him. But it sounds like the man might come back. So there's nothing worse than being in love with two men. So I'm like, when she says she lost the love of her life, did he just walk out of her life? Because in my head, I'm picturing him dead. Like when you say you've lost the love of your life, I'm picturing him buried 6 feet underground. Is that not the case? So yeah, I love L.J. Shen. This is a standalone from her. She's quite twisted. When I read her adult settings, I find them quite dark. Obviously, when she writes her high school ones, they're a little bit lighter. I'm not as much of a fan of them. But yeah, I'm really excited to try this. Anything set in Salem as well. I think you know this about me already. Obsessed. Obsessed when things are set in Salem. So yeah, I think this is going to be a really good one. Okay, tell me you have an L.J. Shen obsession without telling me you have an L.J. Shen obsession. Having 2 L.J. Shen books on your 10 before the end. So the fourth one is The Kiss Thief by L.J. Shen. This is about a girl who is forced into a marriage with her best friend, so she thinks it's great. And then there's this other guy who's somehow involved, and he's like a sworn enemy. So it's Chicago Mafia, which I'm guessing is going to be Italian. I'm guessing they're going to be Italian Mafia. And I'm really excited for this. It's really pretty inside as well. The chapter designs have these little crowns, tiaras, which I love. I love Mafia. I read Bad Bishop by L.J. Shen, and that was absolutely amazing. Like 10 out of 10 read. So I'm hoping The Kiss Thief, again, it's a standalone, is going to be a good one. But I do think this year I've had a little bit of an L.J. Shen obsession, and I cannot put her books down. Then we have Marry Me by C.R. Jane. This is an indie published book. I am a huge C.R. Jane fan. I've read near enough everything she's written. So when I saw she was doing a Christmas romance, I had to put one Christmas romance on my list. I feel like one of the books has to be Christmassy, and it's so pretty inside. So it's about a girl who is on the way to her sister's wedding on Christmas Eve, and she wants to avoid her father, who she's estranged from, and her ex-boyfriend. I have so many questions as to why the ex-boyfriend is there. Like, what is your ex-boyfriend doing at your wedding of your sister? I was about to say at your wedding, at the wedding of your sister. Like, is he the groomsman's best man? Like, how has that happened? And there are text messages, which you guys know will hook me in. It says, it's a funny, tender and swoon-filled second chance romance standalone about finding your way back to the one who you never really let go. So I'm hoping it's like really wholesome and cute. CRJ and I don't really associate with being wholesome and cute, but I'm hoping this one is wholesome and cute. She's a little bit unhinged in her writing. If you've read the Pucking Wrong series, you will know what I mean. But yeah, you cannot go wrong with a Christmas romance. So let's do one Christmas romance. I think this will be prioritized early because obviously we've got 31 days in December. I don't want to be reading this on Boxing Day. So this one will probably be prioritized early on my list. Am I using some of my 10 Before the End to complete series? Yes, I am, because that's the point of it. So I've already read Love You Mean It, Miles St. James, That Man is a Dream. This is the first in the Blushing Bride duology. So on my 10 Before the End, I have picked Love You Mean It. I said Love You Mean It for this. This is You Mean Forever. Turn your brain on, Bill. So Love You Mean It. This is a grumpy sunshine landlord situation. And I am really excited for this. I absolutely love the first book in the series. Laura Pavlov is a go-to author for me. It's going to be dual point of view. You know the spice is going to be great. It is more of a summer romance, but I kind of felt like with some of the things I had picked, I just need a little soft pick-me-up, and this is going to be perfect for that. She's never too traumatic. She's never too intense. She's just a cute romance author, and sometimes, 10 Before the End, you just need something spicy and fun. Because I did my 10 Before the End last year, and I think I put too many Christmas romances on, and then I put too many dark. So I've tried this year to do a real good mix. Then the next one is Anathema by Kerry Lake. Now, this was technically the chunkiest one I had put on my list, but I have changed one of the books on my 10 Before the End. So this is no longer the chunkiest by far. This is tiny in comparison to one of the books I've picked, which I might regret. But I kind of feel like for Vlogmas, we've got to have a little bit of drama. We've got to have Mills a little bit stressed. So if this was my biggest challenge, and it is 600 pages, I didn't feel like this was my biggest challenge. Am I crazy? Yes. Am I a psycho? Yes. Do I push myself to the limits when it comes to reading? Yes. Have I read, you can't even see it, but have I read 291 books this year? Yes. I am that crazy person. I am that crazy book lady. So this is about a girl who goes into a world that is dark and fantastical through a woods, and she meets a cold-blooded assassin. I think this is going to be dark fantasy. I've heard some really good things about it. Am I setting myself up for failure because there's a second book in the series? Yep. Is the second book out yet? No. But I really wanted to read this, so this had to be on my 10 Before the End. The next book on my 10 Before the End, I'm hoping for some trauma. I'm hoping for some tears. This is Like Snowy Fall by Ayla Dade. I want this book to rip my soul out. If you've seen the TV series Spinning Out, I want it to feel like that. I want it to have that level of trauma. So it's about a girl who's running from her past. She wants to be a figure skater, and she goes off to train to be in the Olympics, and she meets Knox Winterbottom. Sorry, that name is trash. Do not call somebody Winterbottom if you're trying to make him the sexy main male character. It isn't giving sexy vibes, but he is a snowboarder. So I'm hoping the description of him makes up for his name, and I'm just going to call him Knox and forget that he's got a surname. But yeah, I'm hoping this has got a good amount of trauma. I love figure skating romances. I read The Favourites last year by Elaine Fargo and was obsessed with that. I feel like this could be a little bit more romantic than that, but we will see. Paisley, please make me cry. Then, of course, is it your 10 Before the End if you don't have a K or an over on it? No, it can't be. I'm going to be reading the second to Your Knife, My Heart. So this is a duology. I've read the first. I devoured it. I think I've posted about this on every form of social media that I have, and you can probably tell I'm a little bit obsessed with K Moronova. She needs more recognition. She is the queen of dark military romance. Cam and M's story is amazing. The way this book ended, I am not okay. So technically the second book comes out on the 9th of December. So that is going to judge where it falls on my 10 Before the End. But will I be diving into this one as soon as it arrives? You bet your bottom dollar I will. There is no doubt in my mind that when this book turns up, I'm going to be a feral little chicken and I'm going to dive straight into it, and I'm not going to wait. Even if I'm halfway through another book, sorry, bye. I'll come back to you. This is top priority for the whole of 10 Before the End. If I only manage to complete one book, which is so unlike me, I'd be surprised if I don't complete them all. This will be the book I prioritize, and it's going to have the matching sprayed edge. I just can't wait. And then this is where you're going to be like, Mills, are you okay? Is there something wrong with you? Why do you do this to yourself? And I'm going to tell you, I just like to live life on the edge, and I like to be on the edge of a little breakdown at all times when I'm coming to do my 10 Before the End. Do I start my 10 Before the End on the 1st of December? Yes. Do I make it that I have to read 10 books in 31 days? Yes. Do I pick books that I want to read, not just books that are small? Yes. Have I picked the biggest book I own on this planet? Yes. So this is Fairytale by Veronica Lancet. This has just been delivered to me. It's set in the 1950s. It's about a girl whose father has passed away. She doesn't really have a relationship with him, and he's left some money for her in his will, and she comes back to this small town where she was originally from. I don't know if she even knows this town, and things go wrong and there's two men involved. It is meant to be a beautiful romance story. Has it got the smallest writing known to man inside? Yes. Have I committed to this? Yes. I think I might leave this one till the end and stress myself out. I know that I'm going to be that type of person, but I've been really excited to read this. It was originally indie published, and as soon as I saw that it was being picked up, I was like, I need it. So it says it's a mix of gothic, horror, fantasy and paranormal fiction with a dash of history, but at its core it's a simple love story. It's quite possibly my favourite story that I've written, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoyed writing it. Before proceeding, there are a few disclaimers to address. If you're looking for a typical romance book, this isn't it. This is a long journey. I know it's a long journey. I've put it on my 10 before the end. And by that, I mean almost 800 pages. So if you're not a fan of complex narrative, lengthy books, or extreme slow burns, then this will not be the book for you. But I do love those things. So am I crazy putting this on the end? Yes. Could this throw me over the edge? Yes. But I kind of want to do it. I like to live life unhinged. So there you have it. I'm just laughing at that last bit. There you have it. They are my 10 before the end. Will I survive? I'm going to be posting a vlog every day in December. I know, who is she? They may be 5 minutes, they may be 10 minutes, they may be half an hour. We will see how much happens in my life in December. But the main focus will be my 10 before the end, how I'm doing, some mini reviews, kind of my reading process. You see me reading some of them. I may look very disheveled some days. I may look okay some days, but we're going to have Vlogmas. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe and turn the notifications on, and I will see you next Saturday, which I think is the last day of November before Vlogmas starts, or the second last day before Vlogmas starts. I have no clue what's going to be next Saturday, but I'll see you then.